All right, Shalom. This is your brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, today's lesson is going to be on purity and teaching. Okay. If you're not if every brother has an amount, an allotted amount of knowledge. We all teach. We all do videos. Um, we all go out to the highways and byways, the sincere ones. So there's a level of purity that you have to have that comes with your knowledge. Even a brother of the least knowledge in the camp has more knowledge than average Joe Schmoes out here. Even though the average Joe Schmoes out here may read a lot of books and think they know something, they know not what they ought to know. Let me just get that scripture real quick. All right. Erykah Badu had a good song. She was just quoting this. It was that song called On and On. She says, "A man that knows something knows nothing at all." I think that's how a man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. That's what she said. And this is what she was quoting right here. 1 Corinthians 8:2 says, "If a man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know." So there's people out there that think they know something, but in turn, in actuality, they don't really know what they ought to know. And even when we're in this truth, the truth, the scriptures say ever learning, even though that script is more of, I don't want to say nothing's negative about the Bible, but it's more speaking about something else, not as in we learn all the time, but it's more so speaking of, matter of fact, I'm going to get it so I'm not speaking idly. Give me a second. All right, for 2 Timothy 3:7 says, matter of fact, I got to read above that. Sorry. So, verse 6 is for this sort are they which crept into houses, and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You see, these people, that's a perfect precept to what I'm saying. These people out here are ever learning. They'll learn this, that, and the third, Buddhism, all this shit, but never be able to come to the knowledge of the truth. But we have the truth, and we have to disseminate. All right, let me get that word dissemination, if that's a word. I'm terrible at spelling, so bear with me. Disseminate. Totally ruined that. Disseminate. It says to scatter or sow propagation. It says in every direction, to spread abroad. See, it says to scatter or sow and to spread abroad. All right. The scriptures always talk about, planting, dealing with field work. It has a lot of parables dealing with field work, reaping, sowing, planting, plucking, harvest. You see all these type, parables and dark sayings about these things because it's a dissemination. All right. So without purity, which the word purity right here means simple truth. With this, and the truth is simple. It's easy to grasp and understand if the Lord opens your mind. It says cleanliness and pureness. All right. But I want to focus on simple truth. With the simple truth that we have to disseminate it in a simple manner so people can simply understand it. That simple. If you're a man with a lot of knowledge and high level of vocabulary, dumb it down. That's as simple as I can say it. Dumb it down to people so they can understand it. All right, since I'm in 1 Corinthians, I'm going to go to chapter 3. All right, 1 Corinthians 3:1, it says, "And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua Mashiach." Meaning what? I dumbed it down for you so you can understand. Okay? And that's how Paul disseminated the knowledge that he had. Hey, Paul knew a lot. He even explained that he knew the mysteries. He knew a lot. He knew. All right? The man was trilingual. All right? He was well learned. He was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. When you read Philippians, the 3rd chapter, he was a well-known individual. He was well known in the for knowing the scriptures. He almost convinced Agrippa, all right, to believe. Like, he disseminated his purity, all right, in a simple manner, in a simple form. Okay, with that, let me just go over to the last chapter. Chapter 2, 1 Corinthians 2:1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. Meaning what? I came to you simplistically, all right, with purity, simple truth. All right, here's the word complex. The word complex means composed of interconnected parts formed by a combination of simple things or elements. Okay? It says complicated, complex, intricate. See, there's a complexity with purity. All right, simple truth. All right, because it says composed or interconnected parts. Those are the precepts that we learn in this book. All right, which is Biblios, the Bible, or books. All right, there's a composed, interconnected parts, meaning these are the precepts that we put together to understand each book. Yes, you are supposed to read the entire book, according to Ezekiel the 3rd chapter, eating the whole roll. According to 2nd Esdras the 14th chapter, when he drank out of the cup, he drank it all. Okay. Yes, we are supposed to, but to connect these things is complex. Is a complexity to our purity. It sounds like an oxymoron, but it works in tandem with one another. All right. So it says formed by a combination of simple things. The scriptures are formed by a whole bunch of combinations of simple things. There's a lot of simplicity in the Bible. The thing is, you have to go and learn it. All right, you have to go. Matter of fact, the scripture can say it better than how I can explain it. Let me see, Psalms 119. Let's see what one. Let's see. There we go. Psalms 119 and 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding. You see that? Through the precepts, we put the puzzle together. We put the complexity together. And therefore, it's purity now. It's just simple truth. Oh, I get it. Oh, we when we read Daniel's 11, like, what is this saying? There's simple truth in it. Meaning the simple truth of Daniel 11 is this happened, and that happened. This guy was ruling, that guy was ruling, this nation came, that nation came. Simple. But how it's worded is the complexity of it, which is the interconnected parts formed by a combination of simple things. That's it. And we have to get the complicated part out the way by studying and being diligent so we can disseminate, spread abroad, the purity, the simple truth, in a non-complex or complicated or uncomplicated matter. All right? Simple. When we break down Daniel's 2 to people, if we read Daniel 2 to a simple average Joe Schmo who's ever learning but can't come to the knowledge of this truth, they will not understand Daniel chapter 2. But when we bring out the sign, the statue, visual learning, because some people, you got 3 different type of learning types: is visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. All right, kinesthetic meaning hands-on. All right, audio meaning by listening, and visual meaning they gotta see it. Okay. So when we bring those things out, it makes it simple so people can understand. So when you have this truth, your purity, all right, this simple truth, you got to disseminate what you know in a very simplistic way and not a complex way, because this book is already complex for these people. All right. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we can compose the interconnected parts via what? Psalms 119, through the precepts. All right. So Psalm 119 and 100, I understand more than the ancients. See, we understand more of what the men back then who wrote this book. All right. Because I keep thy precepts. That's a heavy point right there. All right. We understand more than previous lives because we understand the precepts that were written in the previous lives. Okay? So let me get 2 Corinthians 11 and 2. 11 and 3. It says, "But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Yahushua Mashiach." Because simplicity can turn complex. Things can be so... People... We're on the highways and byways. We preach so simple that people, it just goes over their head. That's the simplicity of Yahushua Mashiach. And sometimes men in the truth get caught up with the simplicity of Yahushua and end up falling out. All you had to do was simply come to class. But you got tripped up on that. Therefore, now you want to do your own thing and preach just crazy ass shit. Talking about volcanoes are going to destroy America and shit like that. And missiles ain't in the scriptures and the earth is flat. Like, you're bugged out. But you tripped up on the simplicity, and all you had to do was come to class. That's simple. That's a simple task that you have to accomplish. But you stumbled over that. You see what I'm saying? All right. So here's Romans 14. So we understand how, again, to disseminate the knowledge that we've obtained coming down from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, all trickling all the way down to little old me. Okay? There's a way to disseminate that and not slip up a brother. All right? This is Romans 14 and 13. It says, "Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way." And one way to put a stumbling block and cause a brother to fall is on purposely explaining something to him in the most complex way that you know he's not going to understand. And then when he doesn't, you bash him. "Man, come on, bro. You should have known that, dude." No, you explain it in a simple manner. And if he doesn't get that simple manner, you explain it even more. You bring it down to the purity. You break it down to its fine purity so the brother can simply get that truth. That simple. You do not explain it and be like, "Come on, bro, you don't." No. Yes, there are some things that are self-explanatory, and if you don't understand it, then yes, you probably got to get on it, brother. Like, bro, come on, man. Stop being simple. But there's certain, like, if you're doing a scripture or a chapter breakdown, that you have to do in a simple manner so they can understand. That's not putting a stumbling block in front of your brother. You see that? All right. So there's a way of dissemination of this purity that we have so we cannot make it complex to the people out there listening to your brothers out there listening to you. Okay. So I just wanted to come with that lesson. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Achakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruits. Brother Kashaqual, until next time, I say shalom.